What would you do if your mother-in-law demanded a DNA test for your unborn baby? My mother-in-law hated me from day one. She never said it directly, but I felt it in everything she did. The backhanded compliments, the little digs at dinner, the way she looked at me like I had stolen something from her. But when I got pregnant, she stopped pretending. I was 5 months along when I overheard her at a family barbecue telling my husband's aunt, "I'm just saying the timeline doesn't add up." She was awful quick to get pregnant after the wedding. I stood there frozen, holding a plate of potato salad, listening to my mother-in-law call me a cheater. I waited for my husband to say something. He was standing right there. He heard every word. He just sipped his drink and walked away. That night, I confronted him. He looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Maybe you should just take a DNA test so she'll drop it." I was 6 months pregnant with his child and he wanted me to prove it was his. I cried myself to sleep that night. But by morning, something in me had shifted. I texted my mother-in-law directly. "You want a DNA test? Fine. Let's open the results at my baby shower, in front of everyone." She responded in 2 minutes. "Perfect. I just want the truth to come out." So did I. The next few weeks were torture. My mother-in-law made sure the entire family knew what was happening at the baby shower. She called it the reveal, like it was entertainment. Relatives I barely knew started reaching out. Some offered support. Most were just fishing for gossip. I heard through my sister-in-law that people were placing bets. Actual bets on whether my baby was my husband's. My own husband pulled away completely. He moved into the guest room, said he needed space to think. I was 8 months pregnant, setting up the nursery alone, picking out names alone, going to every appointment alone. His mother had already won. She had turned him against me without a single shred of proof. The day before the shower, she called me. I thought maybe she was backing down. Instead, she said, "I've decided to make this official. I'm including myself in the DNA test. Grandmother, father, and baby. A full panel. That way no one can say I manipulated anything." I almost laughed. She wanted to be on the test to prove she was the real grandmother, to prove her bloodline was legitimate and I was the fraud. She thought she was being smart. She thought she was covering all her bases. I told her that was a great idea. The shower was set for Saturday. 47 people confirmed. My mother-in-law requested to be the one who opened the envelope. I said absolutely. I wanted her to read it out loud. Saturday came and my sister's house was packed. 47 people in the living room. And right in the middle of the gift table sat a white envelope. My mother-in-law had been circling it all afternoon like a shark. Around 2 o'clock, she tapped a champagne glass with a spoon. The room went quiet. "I want to thank everyone for being here today. This is a special occasion. Because today we finally get some answers." She looked right at me. I didn't flinch. She picked up the envelope. I ordered a complete DNA panel. The baby, my son, and myself as the grandmother. I wanted everything out in the open. She tore it open slowly, enjoying every second. She unfolded the paper and read out loud. "DNA confirms the alleged father is a 99.9% match to the baby." She stopped, blinked. A few people clapped, but she held up her hand. "Wait, there's more." Her eyes moved down the page. Then she went completely still. The color drained from her face. My father-in-law stood up. "Linda, what does it say?" It wasn't a question. It was a demand. She couldn't speak. Her hands were shaking. I walked over and slid the paper from her fingers. I turned to face the room. "The DNA test shows my baby is 100% my husband's child, but it also shows something else." I looked at my father-in-law. "Your son doesn't share DNA with you. He's not your biological child." The room went silent. My father-in-law looked at his wife. "What is she talking about?" My mother-in-law opened her mouth but nothing came out. 31 years of marriage, and she had just exposed herself in front of everyone she knew. My father-in-law filed for divorce that month. My mother-in-law confessed everything. But the real kicker? The biological father was his own brother, my husband's uncle. He'd been at every Thanksgiving for 31 years passing the mashed potatoes to his secret son.